Sorry, I was just getting off the train. Actually, don't worry about it. I'll just come see you in chat, really, because I spent, obviously, quite a bit yesterday. But yeah, no, that's fine. We'll just have a chat, really, because like, I've obviously got my own stuff to sort. But yeah, no, I definitely want that photo. Don't worry about it. Yeah, we'll have to go for a meal next time. Yeah, it's probably best. I mean, I'm still quite tired from yesterday, but yeah, we should definitely do another time though, when it's more kind of like planned out.
Yeah, I was just kind of thinking, like, is this the best time? I've literally just come, from a couple of days away. Is this the best time for me? So I'm starting to think maybe I should back out of this.
I think what you're thinking is you didn't like the pressure that was being put onto you at the time.
Let me some more now. Let me carry on.
It's not very good of you, is it? I have to put my foot down. I want an Indian, and I want it now.
Yeah, I'll play the next one.
If you don't want to go for India, we can go for a pizza or something like that. I mean, obviously something's better than nothing, isn't it? Driver's hungry, I'm peckish, I'm famished.
So yeah, you can kind of hear it. Obviously, like, I felt a bit under pressure, and I felt I couldn't really back out. I would have been, to be honest, better to do another day, if I'm honest, but I did really want to back out.
If we're having to travel, we're going back on ourselves to come and see you, Danny. Obviously, to show gratitude when we come in to see you. I think it's important the servants, the slaves, as I call them, the king. The king needs to be fed, and the king will get fed.
Okay, I'll see you on the other side. Yeah, I won't have to get on for like half an hour. You know what I can actually do? So I can get.
Yeah, that's it. Basically, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, look, I know. To be fair, like Ian's character, it's a being the king, that partly that was kind of in there, but I think the main point I was saying is I did feel pressured, and I'm just sort of making that point that it wasn't Steve that said that I should pay for everybody. So that was kind of like the main point that I came on to sort of discuss. There is actually a sort of second point. He privately, I think it was mentioned on a live, wasn't it, Steve, about that call that me, Gemma, Kiwi, and yourself had, and Ian was basically trying to throw everything he had at us. He was obviously quite drunk as well, and it was mentioned.
He'd done the same last night as well. He'd done the same last night.
Yeah, and it was mentioned, as it was again last night, that I did sort of. There was this discussion between me, Ian and Ronnie. I'm just, for the purposes of the live, they won't understand unless they were moderator. I did feel that it was quite stressful. Not that I realised how stressful it was. Obviously, there being, very few, in my opinion, very few mods. I'm not saying Ian told me that I had to be there every night or anything, but I felt more under pressure than I I felt like maybe if I wanted to say go to bed an hour earlier, I felt like I couldn't really do that. I didn't want to leave Ian on his own, kind of thing, So with that kind of pressure in mind, it was just a discussion between me, Ian, and Ronnie. And I said, Gemma's not, modding. Why isn't she modding? And it was sort of, it was just a discussion. It was suggested that Ian speak to Gemma, and he was going to do that with Steve. And he made it look like on the live that I said really nasty things about Gemma, and it was done in a sort of malicious way. I believe that he said, he said to people on the live, why are you, like, why, apparently he said, why are you talking about that about your friend? That's not a very nice thing to do. That never happened. It was just generally a nice chat, she's not modding. We need to speak to her about it. Nothing malicious whatsoever. Unfortunately, instead of the call, she did end up getting removed on the same day as I got removed for a silly reason on Christmas Eve due to a hater card from one of the people from the thing that Ian doesn't want me to mention. So she shouldn't have been removed in that specific way. Should have been a conversation. Unfortunate that wasn't the case, but there you go, But yeah, just a sort of closing note from me. Like I've got no, like I'm not happy. Obviously, I still haven't received an apology for the things that Ian said to me and all of you guys like last week. You know, he hasn't apologized for that. You know, I'm willing to apologize obviously for speaking about certain things that they might have told me, but I was very, very confused. You will know that, Steve. Very confused between being friends with you, Gemma and Kiwi, and then being friends with Ian and Ronnie. You know, I didn't know what was the case, and I was hearing things from you that Ronnie might not be genuine, and I didn't really know what to believe. And so that was the only reason why I said certain things that they've said, because I was just so unsure about what was true or not. You know, I was so convinced that Ronnie was a really, really great guy, and there's still parts of me now that just keep trying to convince me, maybe part of my good nature, that this is all one massive mistake. You know, this is all massive mistake. But you know, clearly, we're never going to agree. You know, we're just not going to agree. But you know, that's all I had to really say.
Right. Okay.
It is, but it is very upsetting. It is very upsetting, obviously, to know from you guys that when people say groomed, they don't actually mean in a sort of sexual way. It means in a sort of manipulation. You know, by talking to someone every single day, building a friendship. Groomed in that respect. There was no, just to clear up for anyone that's watching, there was no grooming in any kind of sexual way or anything like that. You know. I don't want to mislead anybody into thinking that was the case. That Ian or Ronnie didn't do anything, you know, within that nature. Even though people after we went for that meal commented on the photo and said, "Oh, did Ian do this to you? Did he do that?" Completely no. That's your own fantasy. But yeah.
Was that it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna eventually, obviously, put up, you know, try and make things right with Ian, but you know, it's still sort of continue to go on. You know, obviously, I can't force Ian to apologize about all the sort of things he said. You know, calling me, saying stuff about my transition, being a tranny, whatever, cunt, and autistic spaz, and oh, I hope you have a worse mental health in year or whatever like that. You know, like I don't think there was any excuse for that because I've never said nasty things about him. Like, this is me saying my own opinion, yeah, but like I'm not standing there calling him a cunt or anything like that. You know, I'm happy to just let him get on to do what he wants to do. You know, I'm not there to be nasty about him, but I'm just upset that Ronnie's misled me and manipulated me into, you know, almost joining back with them. You know, which I'm very obviously unhappy with. You know, that I don't want to believe that anybody has those kind of intentions.
Yeah. Okay, well, I don't know if have you finished, Danny, or feel free to carry on if you've got more to say.
Not really. I mean, to be honest, like we should just leave it as it is now, though, because like unless there's sort of anything else that's been missed, or if there's anything else that Ian's going to accuse, like I think it's fair enough that if someone, you know, he's accused of my situation, obviously with the Indian meal, that's something that I had to put straight. You know, I'm not coming here to be, you know, angry or aggressive or anything like that. And you know, everybody should just leave it alone. You know?
It's only Ian that gets aggressive and angry, yeah. Obviously, we're sat here calm.
I will actually say though that I think one of the things that, I'm not going to run through all the different reasons because I think we have done that already, and you know, trying to persuade Ian is not, obviously we can't do that. We tried, we've been unsuccessful. But I will say, for the purpose of the live, you know, I've known Steve, Kiwi, and Ian, you know, you guys for a long time, and I think if you're coming to me sort of saying, you know, there's something wrong with Ronnie, you know, even if I'm think that Ronnie's the best guy in the world, I've really got to consider what my friends are saying, and that's one of the biggest things that turned my head in this, like at the very beginning, like that something's not right here, something's not right. I need to listen to my friends. Who are my real friends? Who have I known for X amount of months? Who are my real friends?
Did you not see plenty of evidence, though, like things that Ronnie said, etc., etc.?
Yeah, I mean, there's even those sort of pictures and whatever, but I feel like, you know, we've already sort of spoken about this, like the pictures and all that kind of stuff, and also
right,
like the
King Ian more official. That's not you. I've just looked at your profile. You've got no followers. But carry on, Danny. Carry on.
I mean, this cleaner issue really did upset me quite a bit, though. That you've done many things for Ian, many things for Ian, like take him out. Ian can't.
I treated Ian like a member of my own family, but like I've explained, Ian begins to take these things for granted. Then he begins to expect those things. Then he begins to throw those things back in your face. And obviously, time and time again, one thinks enough's enough, end of, finished. Yeah, and that's what happens on my side.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, like you've done so much, and he did say, in the live, you've been friends for like 2 years or all of that, and he should just be looking at the friendship, looking at it, thinking, I've known Steve, I've known Kiwi, I've known whatever for a long period of time. I really need to sort of consider what they're saying. I really need to consider it. But I also understand, why he's chosen the path he has. But through talking on those calls every single day, you're going to be convinced. And at the end of the day, if you're not sticking around for him, who's he got left to? In fairness, I think it'd be quite hard for him to get out, and I do feel sorry for him. I do feel sorry for him in his sort of situation.
I think we all do. Anyone with a heart would feel sorry for a guy in that situation, despite what's gone on.
No hate. I mean, I could have revealed myself. He knows, to the Discord. I could have told them this is me, but I still won't do it because I've got respect for Ian. I won't do that. I won't, join the hater side and say, yeah, Ian's this, Ian's that. Like I'm not about that. I still would say, if anybody is hating on him, don't, saying nasty names, I would say that's, I still stand by that is nasty. No one deserves that. But yeah, it's clear. It's very clear now that there is no convincing. Some people just cannot be swayed, unfortunately. But yeah. What's going on, Jem? I've not been reading the comments because I've just been concentrating what I've been saying. It's just. Oh, someone's saying, trust me, stay away from Gemma and Steve. Why should I listen to that? Why should I listen when they treated me very, very well? Why should I listen to people who are saying, oh, I shouldn't be friends with them? Lollipop lady to the rescue.
Probably
that's quite funny, actually. Obviously the other moderators, they can do what they like, but I'm not mentioning names. I'm sad, obviously, for them. Obviously, they have their own reasons for joining back. I'm not going to hold it against them. Exactly, I understand. Like, I've been quite close with the three of you, so
She's got no tips, King Ian, more official. She's got no tips.
Right? They're talking about me. What they said.
Ian said my mum had no tits, didn't he?
Oh, I thought they were. Oh, why have my screen? My screen's like gone in for some reason. It's like super zoomed. I don't know why. Oh wait, there we go. Oh, I thought they were talking about me because I did have surgery. Like I did have top surgery. I'm just
no. Ian asked how my mum was, and he previously said she's got, amongst many other things, he said she's got no tits. I just found that the most funniest insult. It's so childish.
I mean, maybe. I mean, for all you know, well, not yourself, but there are probably other people that don't. It's very sad if they've had breast cancer, they might have had to get rid of their chest, which is obviously sad for.
100%, 100%.
Like for someone like myself who's trans, like that's a very sort of euphoric, alleviating feeling not to have a chest. But for cisgendered women, that's probably quite a personal thing. But you've got to do what you got to do to stay alive. You don't want cancer.
Yeah. Right. Well,
yeah. So I'm just looking back at some of these comments.
So, guys, Ian done a live last night, one of many in recent months, where he's thrown all the abuse at me and the others and threatened to expose people, etc., etc. He said on his live last night, I'm going to repeat it in Ian's words and give the expressions as well. Keep your mouth shut, as he does. If you mention my name again, I will expose you. Yeah, but in a much more aggressive way. Now, guys, just want to let you know, Ian cannot expose me for anything. Ian knows nothing about me. Ian only knows what I've chose to tell him. always one step ahead. Now, I realised in the early days, back in the early days, that Ian couldn't be trusted with confidential information. Ian, as you know, very gullible, was trolled. He received a phone call from someone pretending to be the police. He ended the call. He phoned me up. He said, I've got the police on the phone. I said, it won't be the police. He told me the situation. I said, there's no way that'll be the police. The police wouldn't operate like that. But he went against my judgment. He spoke to this troll and he sung like a canary, gave everything that he knew about me, which was very limited at the time. So from that point, I thought, this guy can't be trusted with information. So fortunately, I never gave him any information. All he knows is what I've chose to tell him. Yeah. And I've only chose to tell him stuff that, you know, is completely irrelevant to any of you people on TikTok. So all these threats of exposure don't worry me, because as I said to you guys, he's got nothing on me. And if I was actually worried of this threat, I would not be speaking and mentioning his name there on the live. So anything exposed yesterday, but what I'm trying to put across is he was perfectly willing yesterday to expose what he thought, obviously, he knew. So that shows his willingness to expose me, and also Kiwi. As you know, Kiwi's name is exposed as Simon, which is what Kiwi told him his name was, not his name. And I think he come up with several names for me and several locations, which again are completely irrelevant. So yeah, Ian can't expose anything on me. I'm not worried about that whatsoever, because like I say, he's got nothing on me. But that just shows you Ian's character, willing to expose friends, yeah? Ian doesn't appreciate friendship, doesn't value, doesn't understand, and doesn't grasp, you know, true, loyal friendship. He's got no idea. Like a lot of you trolls on here at the moment, you haven't got real friends. You know, you live in a virtual world where your friends
That's his life.
Yeah, where your friends are, you know, virtual. So therefore, you can't sort of manage to ever form a true, proper friendship, because obviously you haven't got that chance. You know, you're dealing with virtual people, so therefore you don't appreciate or value friendship as it is in the real world. Yeah, and that's obviously the same sort of case with Ian, because it's all very virtual, you know, friendship, and therefore obviously you don't understand or appreciate or, you know, value true friendship. And that, unfortunately, for Ian, is a flaw in his character, and that's what lets him down. But hopefully, you know, he's left with Ronnie. Hopefully, Ronnie will step up to the mark and sort of treat Ian the way I did. Despite everything Ian's done, I wish him all the very best in life. I hope he sorts himself out. I hope Ronnie steps up to the mark and tries to help him like I did. And yeah, that's the situation. But there'll be no more assistance from me.
Somebody's asking on my side. Obviously, they didn't see Ian's live. Yes, he did. Ian has admitted that his place is not owned by Steve. It's owned by the council. To answer your question, by the way, Joseph.
Yeah, so I did. Obviously, if you didn't see my live yesterday, so we'll have to go through this again then. So basically, Ian's created many lies, and he did explain this to you guys yesterday. Ian's created many lies, which he explains as being part of the King persona, yeah? So you've got the £500 a day that he was paying me to drive, apparently. He admitted that was a lie. That was to obviously add to his King persona and give the impression that he could spare £500 a day. The flat, he come up with that idea to take people off the fact that he was on benefits. He didn't want them sort of thinking that he was on benefits, because obviously if you're living in a council flat, then quite clearly you're on benefits. So that's why he come up with that lie, and various other lies, which as a friend I was happy to go along with. I was happy to back those lies. You've got the Merc thing. He reckons he's talking £100,000 Merc. Again, I went along with it. You know, as a friend, I backed his lies, and he admitted those on his live yesterday, but tried to obviously make me look the bad person. But you know, I've got no benefit to create those lies. Ian created those lies as part of his King persona. So the £500. Oh, I can afford to pay someone £500 a day. That indicates you're not short of money. Obviously, the flat. Obviously, if you're living in a private flat, you're obviously not getting benefits. Generally, I know DSS do pay for some private properties, but obviously in his case, it was to take people off the scent that he may have been on benefits. So that was the reason for that, Jason. Or what was his name? Joseph, was it?
Joseph. Also, yes, Ian Moore stream. I think Ian and Steve probably did speak about. Well, I don't know if we really want to talk about that poo situation. We probably don't, right?
Yeah, we can speak about that. So, I mean, it's all been discussed. So, on Instagram calls, which I was rarely in, but obviously I would, out of politeness, I would join every now and then. Obviously, when Ian's drunk, in a funny, one of his humorous moods, he
Talk to me
would.
later, Jason.
I don't know how they do it, but he would bring up sort of like a media thing, like you push a button on your screen and your photo albums come up, and he would just send pictures of men and things like that. Illegal men, I would say they all look legal. And then Ronnie sent a picture of like some horse shit or something like that, and the horse having a crap. And I just contributed
It's just banter.
I just contributed to the humour of the call. I literally Googled shit in the toilet, and I just obviously sent that photo in the group. So it's so minor. Well, this is what it is, Danny. He's got nothing on me. He's bringing up ridiculous, petty, minor points because that's all he can literally throw at me.
It's just to be honest, like when I hear about this, I'm just like, this is nothing. I mean, I know myself because I've been in many calls with Ian and Ronnie, and whatever. And it's just banter at the end of the day. Like, there's nothing really to get at here. It's just friends having banter. So.
And whilst we're on the subject, just to clear up the filming of Ian whilst he was asleep as well. So. Yes, I did do that, and I'll tell you exactly why I done it. I showed Ian the video the next day. Otherwise, think about it, guys, he wouldn't have even known about the video, would he? So he wouldn't have known about the video. If I'd have done it secretly, he wouldn't have known about the video. So me and Ian both snore, and we was having a debate who snores the loudest. Yeah, and I said, listen, mate, by far, you snore the loudest. So I just happened to wake up. Well, he woke me up with his snoring, so I thought, I'll tell you what, I'm going to record this, and I'm going to show him exactly how loud he snores. That's how that's how that video come about. And I showed him it the next morning. The videoing of his flat, that was that which I'd previously sent to the cleaner. I said, I'm sending it, in the strictest of confidence. Now, this was 4 months ago, guys, 4 months ago, yeah? Ronnie saw it. He said, yeah, no problem, I'll help you. I said, when do you want to do it? And I'm just being quick here. So I said, when do you want to do it? He said, we'll do it next week. I said, okay, I'll give you a call next week. You can come round there with me. Meet me round there and we'll get it done. So when I put that on him, he made up an excuse. So I gave him another second chance, made up an excuse, gave him a third chance, made up an excuse. So that was that basically went by the by. 4 months down the line, Ronnie chooses to show that video to Ian. Now, use your brain, guys. Why else would he show him that video? To cause trouble?
Literally just after. I remember I was on the live. I came off for a bit and I called with you and Kiwi, and then when I went back on, you realised that he blocked and you believe that it was Ronnie that blocked you two. Obviously, like, you've done things in the past, so you understood why you weren't moderator. Many unmodding situations, but blocked from the live. It wouldn't have been me because I'm fine with you guys, obviously. And Ian was totally surprised and trying to figure out why it was being why you guys were blocked. So it can only be Ronnie because the two other mods were asleep. So I don't believe either of them would do that.
Yeah, well,
that's what sort of started it off, and then obviously, yeah, with the cleanest thing, as you said, like I generally always believe that you have good intentions towards Ian. I'm not going to say, and I said this to you earlier, that you or anybody involved is perfect. Like, we've all done or said something that wasn't right at some point, but we talk about it and then we move on. Like, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
Someone's also asking about to ask carry on, but someone's also asking about Smirnoff being a mod, if you want to answer that.
Yuri or Love, what did you say? Yeah, you are right. I mean, it's no loss to me. I only helped Ian out the goodness of my heart. I saw the situation he was going through. I thought I'd try and assist him to the best of my capabilities. It's only his loss. It doesn't affect me whatsoever. So, it's no loss to me. It's unfortunate. It's only Ian's loss. Right, what was that? Smirnoff. What about Smirnoff?
Oh, someone's just asking, saying, that there was a new mod, Smirnoff last night. I don't know whether you wanted to say anything on that.
Yeah, well, Smirnoff was previously removed. Again, Ronnie was the driving force behind the removal of Smirnoff, plus all the other mods. Danny will confirm that because obviously he's been in the chats. Ronnie was the guy that was getting rid of all the mods. Ronnie set up the schedules for the channels. Ronnie's very controlling, very manipulative. But getting back onto Smirnoff, yeah, I don't know. I saw Smirnoff join back yesterday. But I will say one thing. Unfortunately, I'm kicking myself because Smirnoff deleted the message. But he sent me a message before he was made mod saying, quick, Steve, get on the live. Ian's slagging you off. And then I saw him calling his way back in. So I think what happened after he sent that message, he thought, I've got a way back in as a mod here. So he thought, shit, let me quickly delete that message. And then obviously, he done his calling back into Ian, yeah? Now, Ian believes these people are his friends. I believe so let's work on a 100% basis. I believe 90% are trolls and there for the entertainment and to take the piss. I believe there's 10% that are actually real friends.
Yeah, there are some people who are genuine, and I think I will say for the live, like I was struggling a lot with my mental health at the time, and that's sort of how I sort of came into all of the mix. And I think a lot of the people are in a similar situation. I'm not going to name names, but I know like at least one person that does struggle a lot with her mental health, and they do the lives. They have been a support. That's what they are for. But it is very sad. Obviously, a lot of people are told.
Got rid of all the mods,
and that's why we can't trust. That's why we can't trust to have added new mods, because
I think Danny's frozen my side, guys. I don't know about your side. Correct, Kieran. Correct. Can you guys see my side? Because Danny's frozen for me. Yeah, he's frozen. Yeah, so basically, Ronnie was the driving force behind all the mods going. Rapidly accepted Smirnoff back, and I should think that any mods are watching that have previously been banned, I should think if you go back now, he will gladly accept. He is Jack. I mean, at the end of the day, Ronnie. It's too complicated to go into the Ronnie situation, but Ronnie basically is not well. He's got this severe obsession with being number one mod, and basically no one was going to stop him getting there. Yeah, everyone could go fuck themselves as far as he was concerned, as long as he got to number one mod. Yeah, he admitted it. Yeah, he was going around. He was going around calling himself the superior mod, and basically he wanted rid of everyone else. Me most of all, because obviously I was the closest to Ian. Yeah, so obviously he saw me. Little did Ronnie know I was already pulling away anyway. Yeah, but Ronnie didn't know this. But so obviously he saw me as a threat to that position. It's all very petty. I mean, it's pathetic, really. It's a fucking internet. But this mod thing was obviously meant so much to him. Obviously, he saw me as a threat to that position, so that sort of try and cause problems, and that's what he set out to do. And he done a very good job, actually. I will give him credit for that. He done a fantastic job. He is a master manipulator. No match for me. I saw through the guy from the off. I told Danny will tell you, generally, they'll all tell you. I could see what he was from the off. But he's done a number on Ian. Obviously, as we all know, no disrespect to him, but Ian is very gullible. He's easily trolled, easily manipulated. And obviously Ronnie's homed in on that and used that to his advantage and exploited that to his benefit, And he slowly brought himself into where he wanted to be. It started with the gifts for the songs, then the gifts of vodka, etc., etc. And, that was him, he was in, yeah. And now he's in. Yeah, Danny's gone again. Right, so that's the situation anyway, guys. So obviously there is no more Ian as far as Ian friendship, as far as I'm concerned. It's only a loss to Ian. It's no loss to me. Whatever. Ian will suffer in the long run. Ronnie's got himself to blame for that. Ronnie's obsession to be this number one mod and not considering Ian's
I don't know why.
Yeah, well, I finished really anyway. I want to get back down to that pool. But if you've got anything more to say, do carry on. It's not a problem.
No, I'm just closing. I mean, if people are still watching, there's no even on the last live I was involved with, there was no hate towards Ian. I'm not standing there calling him names or anything like that. I'm just saying my own opinion. really. That's all I had to say. I was here to disprove a few things that he said on his live last night that weren't the case. Same as you, the day, when during his live, you did that live. Everyone has the right to defend themselves. But yeah, it's obviously clearly Ian's been suckered in. We can't really, honestly, can't do anything about it, as sad as it is. So yeah, like that's all I really had to say, really. Yeah, I'm trying not to be too real upset.
Ian, I'm sure someone's here screen recording of you. Expose what you like, my friend. As I said to you, you've got nothing on me. You've only got what I've chose to tell you. So feel free, just fire away. Any lies he makes up are lies. I've told you the whole situation, guys. But yeah, just feel free to do what you've got to do. And so stop threatening me in your live, saying that if I don't shut up, you're going to expose me, because you've got nothing to expose me on. But just carry on and do what you've got to do. As far as I'm concerned, though, I've blocked you on all WhatsApps, Instagrams. Friendship over. But I do wish you all the very best, and I hope you can obviously sort yourself out and hopefully live a decent life. So that's me done on that one, Danny.
For me personally, I won't for me personally, I don't mention. I do respect his wishes. He doesn't want, and there is no reason to mention him unless there's something not true. And I've come here today that will go. There will be the voice note on a post later today or tomorrow. But yeah, I wouldn't feel someone is saying something that's not true.
Danny,
I wouldn't feel
you keep
if someone doesn't want me to speak about them publicly.
You keep jumping and breaking up, Danny.
What's that? I can't through, so. Hang on a minute. Yeah, that's all I had to say, really.
Danny, I don't know if you just to clear the situation up just for those. Can you hear me, Danny?
Yeah, of course I can hear you.
Oh yeah, you're just quite delayed.
Yeah, I don't
know for those that have joined, obviously after you played those voice notes. I don't know if you just want to refresh people's memories, those that have not joined, the situation around the meal.
Do you want me to play them again? Do you want me to play them again?
Obviously, it's entirely up to you. But I'm just saying, there's probably people in the room that didn't hear them.
I'm more than happy to play them again, because after those voice notes, he cannot sit there and say again that he didn't put some kind of pressure on me to pay for the meal. So Gemma stopped messaging me because it just keeps beeping because I'm on WhatsApp web. So wait, Gemma, wait. Oh, she don't want me to play them again. She doesn't want me to play them again.
Oh, okay.
Why don't you want me to play them again? You just want me to finish. Yeah, fair enough. But anyway, they will be out anyway on various accounts. So I'm sure people will have time to see them. But
okay, Danny, not a problem, my friend.
Yeah, it will.